Good evening everybody, and a warm welcome to Berringer on this Sunday evening, and welcome to the big Berringer redevelopment project. A bit of a mouthful, but that's pretty much what it is. And I just thought I'd give you a slight progress report on what I've done, but evidently, as you can probably tell, a lot has been done already. And all the track work has been removed, and it's all clean. There's no track anywhere, and as I said before, it starts from back here, and the crossover point that I was going to have here, that's been shelved due to an issue with the crossover point. It didn't quite work out as I had anticipated, so we've gone with this plan, which is just as effective. So we've now basically from Moorwood, we've got the two sets of curve points down there, so the outer line can be brought into the inner line, and then basically this will still act as an up, this will still act as a down, so it's got to just travel on this line here on the left hand side a short distance to get back on the right line on the up. And any trains on the inside at Moorwood can then traverse these 2 points to go back on the outside line, and that's where the plan's going to be. I haven't actually lifted out this section. This section's actually kind of a bit of a storage area for all the track that I've lifted. I've managed to salvage a fair bit. Anything that hasn't been able to be used I'll just bin, because I want to make sure the track runs properly. So if I have to replace it with a new track, I will do. But a fair amount has been saved, so I'm hoping that in terms of cost it won't be a huge expense. The point work I've pretty much got already, so I've only had to spend money on 1 point, that was down at the other end of the layout. So basically the point work that is mainly is at the two ends of the layout. There's this main junction here, and then through here the two lines will be basically it'll be basically just two lines all the way through to the other end. So this now means that this platform here and this one can be extended out, and that will give me another length for another coach. This is the branch line here, and that still remains the same. All the work that I had done recently will still remain. It's just literally just the track work over on that side, so that stays exactly the same. And this basically will no longer feed into any points whatsoever. It will go direct all the way down to the other end, where it will rejoin the main line and pick up from the main line at the other end. So basically the only because what I've done here is I've just removed, as you probably remember, there was two lines here. I've removed both of them, and there isn't going to be that tricky complicated track work that I had here, which you can tell by the two holes for the points. So that would be just much more simplified, much more pleasing on the eye, because it'll just be simplified. And basically it will run all the way down. There are some non-negotiable items on Berringer, and that is the loss of my platform building and my retaining wall. These are non-negotiable, they will stay. But what I have done is, like I said, I have actually butchered this. So we've now opened that up. I've just thrown it to one side, because obviously the curves, the line will curve slightly earlier, and therefore it will encroach on the platform. So in order for me to do that, I've had to remove the platform. It all seems quite drastic at the moment, and obviously Berringer's not looking at its best, but I'm very pleased with the progress, because I know exactly what I'm planning on doing. I know exactly where everything's going to go, and I know sort of roughly what I want it to look like at the end. Obviously these are the boards for the town scene up here, and they will remain here once it's all done. The reason why they're still up here before I show you underneath is because what I'm actually going to be doing is under here, I'm going to be using where these supports are now, just sort of holding up, while the old supports that were holding it up, I'm actually going to open this up completely by, like I said before, I was going to leave these boards to go on top, but what I'm going to be doing is I've got one of these, got this dowling here, which I've used for the station, and basically I'm going to be using a lot more of these supports for underneath. and this is an idea which I think is just generally more pleasing, but it also, through my time through Liverpool Street Station, on approach to Liverpool Street Station, you do go underneath the city, and you do have these supports and pillars and things like that which hold everything up and hold everything together, and that's kind of the issue in terms of that's what I'm going to be doing, because they look much better and much more realistic as opposed to using these big blocks, just these clunky, chunky blocks that I have here, which suited the layout fine at the time and it served a purpose, and that's perfectly fine. The positioning of these rods or supports will be totally dependent on how the track work comes out as to where they go, so I can't do that until I finalise the track work to make sure that they don't get in the way. So you can sort of see where the track work comes in, and what I'll do is I'll take the top off and I will show you what the plan is. So I've now removed the top, and as you can see I've completely opened this out, and so everything is now out in the open. I've had to bulldoze a lot of this area to get it through. There is a height difference which needs to be addressed, which I will be, but essentially what I've decided to do is what I said I was going to do, is basically fit a point here and then feed it across around the back, so I didn't really damage the stake. I've had to cut the corner off, but that's no big deal, because since it's only made with card, I can always use some other cards just to fill in the gaps and pull it back. The idea is to sort of I've got another point here, curved point, left hand point, and basically the curved left hand point will then feed all three lines. So you've got the two main lines on the outer side, and then the branch line will be on the bottom side, and then basically that will just sort of feed in all the way along, and that's pretty much the plan. I mean, it's going to be really tight, and I want to extend the platform out as much as I can, but I'm not exactly sure how I can. If I don't manage to extend the platform out, the middle one that is, as far as I would like as it was before, because before it used to sort of come up to here. If I can't do that because of the way the track work is, I'm going to be extending it down the other end anyway, so hopefully I will still get the length that way round. It's the only way I can really sort of do it to make it into a through station. I would have liked to sort of maybe crossed it over, but it's just so tight around here. I've just sort of, it's almost a bit of a compromise really what I've done, but it does work because I have actually tested it. So I'm going to get what I want. It might not be probably as pretty as I would have liked, but the idea of this is once I've laid the track work down here, just pinned it down, I can have a rough idea where the track's going to go, then I can work out where the supports are going to go. Then I'm going to just paint it all in matte black, and then basically ballast what I have to. The remaining bit will just be left in matte black. The supports will obviously take the weight off the board and the townsend on the top, and then what I'm going to do then is on this section here, this front section where it was you had this brown fascia, what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to put an acrylic, clear acrylic fascia on the front of this, which basically can be slid out and back in. So if there is any problems behind it, I can actually slide it out and still get to it. And basically, if whilst it's all running sweet, you can actually just look through the acrylic and watch the trains come through the acrylic and see it come round into the station. And that's basically where the plan's going to be. There is a height difference here, and it needs to be addressed. But because there is also a height issue and a slope issue down this end, I'm hoping that it's going to be raised up by about a few millimetres anyway, which will make the gap at the other end not so bad. So it's all getting there. I know what I want to do, I know how to do it, and the beauty is because I built it, I know exactly how to sort of get around it. It's going to take longer than I thought, but to be honest with you, I'm quite enjoying it, and I'm going to get what I want in the end. So as long as I just wanted to make the most out of Berringer Station, and basically I wasn't doing it as a terminus endpoint. So by doing it this way, at least I get more use and through running out of this station here. And then the branch will actually be a proper branch line, because it will only have one point at the very top, and then it will just run all the way down straight through. and all the way up to New Shot, and then I'll have a direct line from the Fiddle Yards to New Shot via Offord on the Hill. So that's going to be really good when it's all done. Like I said, it does seem like a bit drastic and a bit hard work, but it's going to give me the opportunity to improve Berringer in terms of its running capabilities and what it can do. Also, it would give me an opportunity to maybe put some lighting maybe in this building here, and also probably to actually turn what I've done here with the underground station is basically bring it forward to this side and turn this side into the other side of the underground station. So you'll have a similar sort of thing, but basically that side there be facing on this side here as well. So that depends on how the track work gets laid out, which I haven't really done yet. But those are the plans, and that's where we are for now. So thanks for watching. Feel free to comment and subscribe, and yeah, all comments appreciated, and thank you for your continued support. Bye for now.